We need to talk.
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 Welcome back to We Need to Talk, episode number 21. I'm your host, MR.KOA, alongside
Top Boy.
And sorry you missed a week. That's my fault. Not my fault, but I had to deal with a situation. There's a death in my family, so I had to take time off. It's always tough when you have to deal with just losing somebody in general. It doesn't have, even whether it's family or not, but it's important to just take the time to just let it process. A lot of people try to do things to distract themselves or try and ignore the hurt by keeping themselves busy or stuff, but it's one thing about, we're human, man. So it's like, we could have done the podcast last week, but I just feel like when your mind's not into it and you're not, all there, and you're not just, your head's not into it, it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like it's you, and people can tell. So I just want to take the time off to just let it process. It's obviously still gonna take some time for me to just get through it, but we're good now. I'm good to get this shit rolling again. We had a guest that I selected from a couple weeks ago. Every week, as you guys know, we post a question every Tuesday. It's Ask WNTT. That question was pretty. That day, I think I asked a question, said whoever asks the best question will be a guest on our show. So it got pretty competitive. People were trying to got really creative, asking some real fucked up questions. But some of the questions were really, really good. And the way I was gonna pick it initially was I was gonna pick it based on what I thought was the best question. But overall, just through watching the day go by, the majority consensus was picked based on you guys. You guys started to like a certain question more than the other questions, and when the people let you know what it is, that you don't have to say much after a while. The people have spoken. So we have a guest right now. I've never met in my life. It's the first time I'm meeting him. Introduce yourself. What you do? What's your name? How can people find you? Just get, this is it. It's your spot. Great question, by the way. We'll get to it soon.
Thank you. So my name's Irvin. Basically, I'm a creative, right? And I didn't want to say that because I feel like all your guests come in here like, oh yeah, I'm a creative. But yeah, basically, I'm an aspiring art director, right? So I went to school for like creative advertising to do art direction. But as time went on, I felt like I didn't really want to be in the advertising business, but I still wanted to art direct. You know what I mean? So like still be in pop culture. And I don't know if you guys know I Am Theo on Instagram.
No,
He art directed The Weeknd's album with Future.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So it's like dope visuals. And
you said you know him? Or?
I don't know him. I've
okay.
been trying to get in contact with him, but like, it's hard guy to get in contact with.
It's all good.
But yeah, want to kind of do what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like put concepts that I have in my head, put them to life. You know what I mean?
So how are you breaking that ground right now? Do you have your own videos, your own channel, your own what? How are you creating it?
Well, right now I wanted to start off with agency work. Like just get my feet wet.
Yeah.
So I've been like right now I'm interning for a guy in New York called his name is Rodney. Rodney Hazard, and super dope guy. He's teaching me a lot, putting me under his wing, and after that just making connects, meeting new people, and like that way you can just do what you want to do.
Of course.
Makes sense.
So what is your thing? Everyone has a thing. So you're creative, you want to do creative directing and stuff like that. But what would you say, like when people think about any creatives or anything, like me, like Zamora and myself, like I know my thing. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. And Zamora knows his strengths and weaknesses. And you have to capitalize on those things. Yeah. For example, Zamora has been recently working on drone photography and cinematography and stuff like that, which is dope. And the thing is, it's growing his fan base, it's growing his following, but it's also allowing him to create a little kind of a niche market, a little bit like people can go to his page and be like this is the drone guy, you know what I'm saying? You can become a certain thing. Not that it doesn't matter if other people are doing it. It's just you have to realize what you're good at and just excel at that. For example, like I do quotes and I do certain things that I feel I do better than anybody else, and I feel that way, and I don't really care about anything else, right? And you have to look at like someone else can make quotes, I can make quotes, and I'm like, you know what? Whether that guy's quotes are doing better than mine, I can be like, you know what? Like I feel if I had the same audience or if I had the same exposure, I'm like, I think I could do better than that guy.
Yeah.
And you have to have the mentality in your head to, with anything you're doing, that like, it doesn't matter where the person's at right now. I will pass you. You know what I'm saying? So what is your thing that if someone's like, you know what I want to come to you and I need a particular thing that is your expertise, what would you say is your thing?
Well, I guess right now I'm still trying to find that.
Okay,
right?
that's fine.
But what I'm doing mostly right now is graphic design work.
Okay.
Right? So if anybody wants, like, I always tell my people, like, you need a flyer, yo, I'm your guy.
Okay.
Or like you need like a graphic, yo,
Right.
I'm your guy. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
So that's the most that I do.
Right.
Right? But obviously later on I want to
Branch
out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any question to ask him?
No, I mean, I think it's good that you basically are already in the process of telling people, like, if you need this, like, come to me, because a lot of people don't open their mouths with things, right? Well, how does the quote go? Closed mouths don't get fed. That's really what it is.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Honest to God, you'd be surprised at the amount of people that or opportunities that come your way if you just say something.
Yeah.
You never know who knows who, right? So just keep doing what you're doing, man.
I'm the type of person that, like, I contact everybody. You know what I mean? Like, if I see you on Instagram and I see that you're in Toronto and, like, I'm inspired by your work, I'm going to hit you up. You know what I mean? Like Christina Chang, like, I already hit her up. And she's, like, a super dope person.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, like, anybody else that I see, like, I'm always hitting them up on the DMs. You know what I mean? Like, it's always good to just get your name out there.
Of course.
Good thing to do.
How did you find us?
I know you from, like,
My MR.KOA Talk channel?
yeah, that too.
Okay.
But I first saw you in that Doom McFly's video.
Oh, Marley. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
dope.
yeah, and then after following you, I saw that you had this.
Yeah.
Right, and then I met him.
So what? I'm gonna ask you questions now.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
you right now you were the first person that I guess can speak from the outside.
Yeah.
So
the
like
fan perspective?
from the fan perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna call him a fan. Like he's a supporter. I hate the word fan.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
really hate the word
Yeah,
fan.
that's true. That's true.
Support from a support perspective because I can bring friends in here and they have a bias. They know me already. So
Yeah,
it's like, yo,
for
this
sure.
shit's dope, blah, blah, whatever. He can bring friends like they still have a personal bias. Whether they like what we're doing or not, you still have a personal bias. But to not know us, what is something that drew you into what we're doing? Like we're at 21 episodes right now.
Yeah.
And I've seen your name pop up time after time. You're showing love and other people like you. Like, what is it that separated our podcast from? Like, do you listen to Marlon's podcast?
Yeah, I do.
Extra
Yeah,
okay.
Extra
So obviously our podcast is completely different from Marlon's
completely
podcast.
different, yeah.
Shout out Extra Gavy Show. That's my boy over there. Shout out to that dude McFly. But our podcast is completely different than
Yeah,
I'd say anything out there right now. I can say that, to be honest, very confidently. And what is it about our podcast that I guess is drawing you in, and what is it that you like, or what kind of things you think we should change or add? Like, we're looking for feedback as well, right?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
we're fucking learning as we go, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like, I didn't even listen to podcasts. Like, I wasn't really heavy into podcasts, but now I'm listening to like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
And I guess you guys are just saying what people think. You know what I mean? And like people agree, and I guess that's what like drew me in. Like I could relate to what you guys are saying,
Right.
Or even if I can't, it's always cool to hear somebody else's perspective on a certain topic.
Definitely.
Right? So that's why I kept on listening. And plus I support like your stuff and like now that I know what you do, like I'm a supporter of what you do too, right? So
Appreciate it, man. Do you have a favorite podcast? Like favorite episode from our podcast you've listened to?
I guess it would be Marlon's. That one was
what?
super jokes.
That was
I was
funny.
cracking up.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good. Last question I had for you was what was it? Oh yeah. So it's a relationship based podcast.
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship? Is that something you're interested in? Is there a reason that our podcast is relationship based? Is that something that drew you in because you're interested in, dealing with opposite sex or things you're dealing with right now? Has there been a situation we've talked about on the podcast that you're like, fuck, like I'm going through that shit right now? Like, has it ever happened? Like,
So basically, after being single for a while, like for the first time, I am back into a relationship.
okay,
And yeah, I guess.
is it fresh?
Sorry?
It's fresh?
No,
right?
it's same girl.
Okay. Oh, you're back with
Oh,
it.
you got back with it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess while I was in the relationship, I still heard like what you guys were experiencing. I guess living through you guys' experience.
Yeah.
Because you don't really, I don't know. Yeah.
People don't talk about it.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
people don't talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it did help you in some
Yeah,
ways.
it did. It did.
Yeah. That's all I want to know. That's
I'm glad we
no,
helped.
that's honestly I've heard numerous people like, and it's no matter how many times I hear it, bro, like it doesn't I don't get used to it. I'll never get used to someone being like, yo, like that podcast helped, or like, yo, like that quote you did, like really, like I'll never get used to stuff like that. So like even if a lot of people out there, you guys listening right now, a lot of people watch your podcast or listen to our podcast and it might resonate with them, they don't say anything. So I don't even know how many people were actually impacting unless they say something, you know?
That's so true.
It's to know that even if one person's like, yo, like this helped me do this or helped me kind of clarify, like it's enough for me, yo. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to Aaron's question because that's the one that got the most likes. And you asked, as a creative, do you feel like your partner needs to share the same passion for creativity, or do you not mind? You can answer this first. You.
Oh, me.
He asked the question.
Yeah. My fault. Do I feel that this share the same creativity?
So
or same passion.
Same passion for
do you share
creativity.
the same passion for creativity, or do you not mind? It doesn't ask, do they have to share the same passion for your creativity?
Just a passion for being creative.
Yes.
I don't know if okay. So for me, I don't think you need to be a creative person, but I think I'm more attracted to someone with drive and ambition. So like the creative gene is very rare. As much as people think, oh yeah, like I'm creative. Like there's a lot of people that think they're creative are not creative people. Yeah. They believe they're fake creative. Like, but they're not. There's nothing innovative. There's nothing, extraordinary about anything they're creating. But they really believe that, like, oh, this was some extraordinary shit, right? But the actual creative gene, I feel is a very rare gene to have. But I don't need you to have that gene to be with you. But the gene to be ambitious and to go for your shit and not wait and take initiative, like those are things I need. Like creativity is almost like a branch from being a go-getter. Like you're a go-getter, like that is the foundation. I'm a go-getter. I do shit. I get shit done.
Yeah.
I get shit done in a creative way is like another avenue. But some people get shit done in a, break everything, just fucking go through and see what happens kind of way. And there's some people that are like more tactical. Like you don't have to be creative, but everyone's working in the same type of mentality, right? So I think it's perfectly fine to be with someone who's not creative because that's how you learn from each other, right? It's like they might not have that creative side and that's your side, and you might not have the business side and that's their side. So I don't think you need to be too creative people because that. And that might even clash at some points because you guys both are like, no, it should be this way. It should be this way. It's like I'll never be the same creative as you, and vice versa, right? So for that, I don't think you need to be. I don't think they need to share the same or share a creative passion, but I think they need to share a passion for getting shit done. That's for me. That works for me personally. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Only because there are people that like I have spoken to that aren't creative like in any way whatsoever. They don't. Ryan hit the nail on the head. You can't force yourself to be creative, right? And sometimes I've gone out to, I've gone out to these art shows and stuff like that, and I find that some people are trying to be creative, like they're forcing it a bit too much, and you can tell when someone's forcing this stuff, right? So, I'm definitely more attracted to someone that pretty much like when I see them, I don't think they're just sitting around doing nothing, right? They don't need to be into the same shit I am. It definitely helps if they are. It's a turn on if they're into the same stuff I am and vice versa. But if I feel like they have something that they really want to accomplish, or there's something that they're really good at, doesn't even have to be art related, but they put a lot of time and effort into it, then that's a bit that means more to me than anything. I think the only reason why as creators we probably have asked ourselves this question at some point or think about it is because I don't think people who are creatives like to be static. Like they don't like to get complacent. So the minute you meet someone who shows signs of being like complacent, you're immediately turned off. Like, have you ever been talking, like both of you, have you ever been like talking to a girl and everything's fine, but then one day you see that she's just like, you're like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm doing nothing. Like, she's just doing nothing, right? And that's fine every now and then to just do nothing. But if you ask this person like multiple times a week, and they're just like, oh,
what do you do?
What do you do? Right? And it bothers me so much because though sometimes my week is a blur. Like, it just goes by because I'm doing stuff every single day, right? So when I start talking to a girl, if I find out that she's doing stuff every single day, I'm like, oh shit, this kind of makes you want to get into her more. But if she's not busy, I'm almost turned off for other reasons too, because I'm like, you're probably going to want a lot more of my time, which I can't provide to you because I'm busy. Then you're going to ask me why I'm so busy. And I'm just like...
That's more the point that I was going for. Like,
because, that's happened to me before, where people are just like, why don't you make time for me and all this type of stuff? And I'm like, listen, I will make the time that I can, but I do have shit to do.
Actually, keep going on that. There's actually a question that someone posted today regarding...
Also, another perspective is like I like to have things aesthetically like nice, right? Like, for example, my room. Like, I have everything put a certain way and whatever. And then when somebody comes in and it's like they could care less about having things looking nice, they just leave their clothes wherever and like just could care less about my shit. And that's where it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so this question actually applies to what we're talking about right now. I just remember I was reading through today. This was from official Monique Danielle. She said, can two people chasing dreams that keep them busy make it work in a relationship? And could either of you take a stab at a home dad role if your woman was out chasing her dreams?
Okay, let me get
So the first part of the question was, do you think it's possible? Like, what we're talking about, like, you want someone that's like just as busy and like, oh, you're not, they always want all your time all the time. Sure. Do you think it could work if with two people that are both like constantly busy and don't necessarily have time for each other? On top of it, the second part of the question, which we'll answer after, but we'll answer that one quick. That one first.
I definitely feel like it's possible. I think the only reason why people, especially around our age, think it's not possible is because too many people don't want to put in the work. Right? So if I'm into you, the amount of work that I'm putting into whatever it is I'm passionate about is the same amount of work that I'll put into the actual relationship.
Exactly.
And those conversations will happen when like, if we're two busy people, we're going to have that conversation where we're going to say, you know what? I'm busy doing this. You're busy doing this. When can we make the time? Right? When are we going to do this? It won't work if people just don't have those conversations, right? So it can definitely work.
Bottom line, if you want to make time, you will make the time. If someone's telling you they're busy, that is perfectly fine. But if you're trying to spend time with someone that you're talking to and their excuse is, oh, I'm busy, they don't want to see you.
Right?
Like, straight, they don't want to see. It's not, you'll never be too, like, we all are busy. We're all doing shit. Everyone's doing shit. So when someone's like, oh, I can't see this, I'm busy, it's like, either you don't want to see the person or you have terrible time management skills. Those are the only two options. Like, I'm busy as fuck. Like, we're both busy. But if we want to see a girl we're interested in, I will find time to see you. Whether it's like, there's no excuse for me not to find time. Whether, like, there's weekends, there's after work, there's after I'm doing what I'm doing. There's even if it's for an hour, like, there's no way you can convince me. I don't care who you are, how, unless you're a millionaire working day in, day out, there's no way you could tell me you don't have an hour. You don't have 2 hours every weekend. You're if you want to make time, if you don't want to make time, just say I don't like you. Like, say that. But don't. Oh, I'm just too busy. Like, I think to be honest, I think relationships work best. When two people are super active and super getting shit done. Like, that's a power couple. Like, when you compare, like, even celebrities, for example, like,
Jay-Z,
you can't.
Beyonce.
There you go. What's the first couple you think about? Jay-Z and Beyonce. How are they working? You don't think Jay-Z's busy now? You don't think Beyonce's busy?
Exactly.
Like, so that it's just dumb. It's a dumb excuse. That's a dumb excuse.
And when both of you always are together, you tend to get annoyed at that person too.
Oh, okay. Some people are gonna probably think that's personal the way I react.
No, we all been there.
But it's true. I mean,
You
listen,
can't spend too much time with them.
you cannot like. I don't know. I think the best way for me to put it is like I want to be able to miss you sometimes.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't
That's
know.
real.
This is a better way.
That's real. That's
I
real.
either want to be able to miss you or I want to look forward to seeing
Yes.
you. Because if I see you all the time
Spark.
being down,
Yeah.
not only does the spark go away, it feels like it becomes a routine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though I'm so busy every week that I know there's some things I do every week.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, my week starts when we record our podcast.
Yeah. Essentially, that's day one.
That's day one of the week
Yeah.
because I have a schedule that is based around the podcast, right?
This has to get done.
And I know, for example, if I'm seeing a girl, let's say I'm dating a girl, and I see her every single day, it's gonna get, I don't know why, but I feel like it'll get boring at some point. But it all depends on how much I'm really into her, right? Like if I really, really like the girl, I have no issue whatsoever.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Even then,
like you still
like
need.
like after years.
Yo, look at married, fam, like even married couples and all this shit. Like you need time to spend away from each other, even if it's like a day. I can't be seeing you every single day.
Every single day. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's just me. I'm not that type of person.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Same sentiments as
Yeah.
us?
Same. Exact same.
So the second part of the question was, how do you feel if you meet someone and, well, I don't feel, even this question just seems weird because like it's such a different day and age now. Like that would never happen. But for the sake of the question, she's saying how do we feel about gender reversal? For example, if the woman if the woman has like the big spending job and she can't be around whatever, and you have a kid, and it's like, listen, like I make twice as much money as you right now. I don't need you to work. You can still do stuff, but I don't need you to work. Like our kid needs to get raised, blah blah.
Yeah.
Like I'm making a couple mil, like, but I'm off or I'm out a lot. Are you able to take that hit?
Nice.
Are you like she's like I'm taking care of you, like you are good, babe, for whatever.
Damn.
But I need you to be home with the kids.
I think it's an ego thing.
You could you do it or not?
No, I could not.
You could not do
I
it.
could not do that.
It is an ego thing.
Yeah, because like I need to know that I'm the one bringing home money. You know
So you have to be more than your woman? Do you have to make more than your woman? Really?
That's what you're saying.
I don't have to. I really don't have to. Do you have to be more than your woman? Do you think so?
I don't know.
You know why I don't have to be more than one woman? You know why? Because I said this so many times.
What?
Like, if I somehow came across like a sugar mama,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm blessed, bro.
I'm blessed. I'm fine. Anytime I hear all these girls talking about like
Yeah.
sugar dad, like I know that situation is different.
You're not looking for it though.
But
Like if you just
I'm not looking
Yeah.
for it, but it's just like,
It lands.
yo, if someone wants to take care of me, I'm gonna let her take care of me.
You put your pride in a garbage bag. Like
Let her take care of me.
I'd be like, pride's what pride? Like, no, so you actually really couldn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know if it would bother me that she's making more than me, but just the fact that I'm not
doing
going out there and working or doing something, because I had a job since I was like 14.
Right.
Yeah.
So like all I know is
Mm-hmm.
work. So to just shift that and not.
Oh, that's a
that,
good
it's
point. Like I never thought about that because
What?
I have been working since like a young age
Yeah,
too.
yeah, so you're used
So
to
it's I think the idea
need.
of just not working
Mm-hmm.
in some capacity might throw me off, but I wouldn't have an issue if like a girl
Like
I'm
you
married
still
to.
create.
I would
Like,
still
you
do shit.
stuff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
I would still
Like-
do shit. I wouldn't be sitting at home like
Just watching TV. Like, I would be doing stuff. Like basically, she's saying like you don't have to go out there. You don't have to go find a job. If you want to still create from home, the kids are there. If you want to be in your your office and whatever, just take care of the kids, make sure whatever. You can still design. You can still direct whatever. But just I need you to be at home the most.
yeah.
I make twice as much, 3 times as much more money than you do. So I need you to be home. You can still do what you want to do, whatever makes you happy, but just not leave the house as much.
Yeah, I guess in that perspective, like if I'm still creating and I'm
Yeah.
doing whatever,
Yeah.
and she's like funding everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like I guess it'd be pretty Gucci.
Yeah. See, that's my thing. Like, I think it's very specific to say that there's nothing wrong with the woman working or making more money than you, whatever. But you don't want to feel like you're doing nothing.
Exactly.
And just as a man, clearly none of us are bums here. So like, I don't feel like any of us would feel good just not contributing at all.
I
You
agree.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like being a father is contribution. I feel like that's your role. That's your job.
Yeah.
That's not I'm the father. Like, that's given. So, like, I don't feel like just being a father, you feel like you're contributing. So I feel like if we're still doing something, even if we're doing it for free, just to feel like we're doing something or helping in some way, but to just, she's gone and we're just kicking it, like, I don't feel like none of us could do that. Clearly.
Yeah, no, I can do that.
So yeah, that's that.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
This dude literally just asked this question. And
now?
it's obviously clearly personal. Underscore Hitman 19. He says, got one. How do you feel with a relationship that you know is hurting not you in particular, but your boy? Like, and then he goes on to elaborate. Like, you know he's choosing his girl over your squad, but the girl is a waste man. That's pretty much how it ends. But basically, I think the first part of the question,
He's choosing,
like, yeah, he's saying that this dude is choosing his girl over his boys. But in the original part of the question, he said, how do you deal with a relationship that you know is hurting your boy? Right?
like
So
it's ruining him.
yeah, so you can probably see that your boy is like hurting over some shit. Like, what do you do as the boy in that situation?
I've been in that situation where my boy is like dating a waste man. like
Waste woman.
a waste woman. I just told him straight up because like he was my best friend, right? He is my best friend, and you just in those scenarios you just gotta tell him straight up.
What did you say? That's a tough convo to be like, yo. What'd you say? Like,
I was just like, listen, like you're always complaining to me about her, and it's like she's not doing anything good for you, right? So you gotta just
see. Okay, it's such a tough conversation because that conversation alone can break you guys.
Yeah.
Depending on how you interpret it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, you're basically telling me, and you can't tell someone how to interpret something, which is the most difficult thing, right? It's like, I'm coming to you as your boy because I'm like, listen, I have your best interests in mind. The girl you're with right now, she's just not good for you, bro. Like, I'm just saying that from an honest place.
Yeah.
They can take that as in, listen, you're just mad because we're not chilling as much anymore, blah, blah. Or you're just mad because you want her, or you don't know her like I do. Like, it could go into such a different path, right? And it's like, it's such a tough conversation to have because it's like, how do you tell someone that the person's not good for them from your perspective? Me, I've seen it, I've been there, and personally, like, maybe it's not the best route to take, but I won't say anything. I'll give my advice if they come to me. If they're like, yo, this was happening, this is how I feel about this, or she's doing this, whatever. I'll be like, you know what, yo, that doesn't sound right. This shouldn't happen. If that's not what you want, like, you know, you should find ways to make yourself happy. But I will never impose my opinion on somebody.
Yeah.
Whether I think it's right or not, that's just not something. Because we all have to learn. So it's like, if your interpretation of his girlfriend is a certain way, right? Just based on what you're seeing from the outside.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned, I've seen guys when they're with their girl and guys when they're like with us and their girl, and they're two different guys.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, who are you?
they're two different guys.
Yeah.
So it's like when the girl is there with us, they're a certain way. And then when they're with their girl alone, like the girl, I might hear like through grapevine, the girl might tell me like, he's like this. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah, they switch up.
it's
This is my friend.
yo, like, seriously,
no,
like,
I know, yeah.
seriously, like, girls tell me about their boyfriends. I'm like, he does this, like, so you have no idea how their interaction is when they're alone behind closed doors. So like, that's why I never give my opinion, because I'm like, I can only talk based on what I'm seeing, and I can't say, well, based on what I'm seeing, you shouldn't be with her, because I'm like, I have no idea how you guys are when you're,
alone, yeah.
So I let it ride. It's more the passive aggressive way, but I let it ride. I'm like, if it works, good. If it doesn't work, then I'll give my opinion after.
It's like, I told you.
I won't say I told you, because that doesn't help, but like, I'll be like, I could have saw this,
Yeah. And you could tell them as much as you want, but if they don't take your advice, it's like, it's on them.
Right, exactly.
I think that's the best thing to do. Have I ever done that? No. Here's the thing. None of my boys have ever been with a girl where I'm just like, you need to leave this girl, right? Or she's not good for you for X, Y, and Z reason. If anything, like, me or my boys have been that person.
That you're talking to you.
We're like, yo, you're the one that needs to leave, right? Because you're crazy or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So, but no, I've had friends, like close friends, not tell me that I need to leave a girl, but they felt no way, just being like, yo, your girl's crazy, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, like most girls that I have dated, I know girls hate when they hear a guy say that they're crazy.
Yeah, I hate that.
I know they do. Because trust me, there are crazy dudes as well. Crazy. But like, every girl I've dated is crazy. Like, and who was it that said? Was it Anissa or someone was just like, when she was like, I knew that I stopped liking this dude or caring about this dude when I stopped.
When I wasn't crazy about him.
When I wasn't crazy about him. Like when I stopped
yeah.
creeping his shit.
Exactly.
And so I was like, you know what? It's not. I expect every girl at some point to be crazy in some capacity, right? So, but
crazy means you care.
Yeah. For me, like I appreciate it every time when someone told me something from their outside perspective, but it all comes down to how they tell you, right? Because even if that girl is supposedly not good for you in any way, I don't think it helps if you approach your boy being like, if you talk about her mad negatively, because he's already dating her, right? True. Which means he already has feelings for her. So you even if it's your boy of like 20 years, you still got to try and approach it in a way that's not totally disrespectful, because he ended up dating her in the first place. It's all relative.
I don't want to dig too deep into your personal issues or personal life, but you were with your girlfriend before.
Yeah.
You broke up for whatever reason, doesn't really matter. And now you're back with her.
Yeah.
One thing, my personal thing, is just through my experience, I haven't been able to make it work with an ex again. I've tried it. And I'm like, and I get to the point I'm like, now I know why we broke up. Like, so, I'm not trying to ruin anything you're in right now, but is there something that was different this time that you're like, you know what? Like, because for me, it's like for me to get back with an ex, I have to be okay. Whatever reason we broke up for, can no longer be there. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So it's like there's girls right now, for example, some ex-girlfriends that still might like me, whatever. But I'm like, I broke up with you for this reason. This thing is still there. So us talking again makes no sense, because we're just gonna come back to this exact same spot. Let's just stay apart. But so was there something that changed from the first relationship to now that you're like, it kind of made things clearer for you?
Yeah, I feel like, with her, she was like from high school. You know what I mean?
Okay, and high school sweetheart kind of thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we pretty much grew up together.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, and then when I ended it the first time, it's like...
Oh, you ended it?
Yeah, I ended it. Because I didn't really have any experience without her. Right?
Okay. Oh, like you're just used to her.
Yeah,
only.
it's just like just her, and it's like I've never really been out with another girl or whatever. So that's why I ended it. And then after just being out,
I want to get loose. I was like, I've never been a dog yet.
Jeez.
I'm just fucking. Not really though. But yeah, okay, I feel you. Okay.
But yeah, just have new experiences.
Yeah, just new pussy. Yeah, just new vagina. But
yeah, it's like you kind of start to be like, was this girl really as bad as I painted her in my head? You know what I mean? It's like, because it's that whole thing where you chill every day and then you start to get annoyed of her.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then now you don't see her.
You start ignoring things you even like.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, is she really that bad? Like, so then, and we never lost contact.
Okay.
Because, there's a mutual respect.
Right.
Right? So just in talking and whatever, it's like we just ended up back together.
So you're just like, why are we not together?
Yeah, exactly.
These other people are like, I don't know. So how long are you apart for?
Like 8 months.
Oh, you broke up for 8 months?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I was just chilling.
Yeah. Chilling, he says. Just chilling. Any man that says he's chilling is fucking. Yo, I was just. What are you saying? Nah, man, this is chilling still. Is there a bitch there? Yeah, she's.
Who you with?
Man tells you he's chilling. You like, all right, yo, you with a girl? All right, bye, bro. Bye.
Go on FaceTime. Let's go on FaceTime real quick.
All right, no, I'm glad that could work out because that's one thing the complete opposite as you is I had a high school sweetheart kind of thing, and when we broke up the first time, I was broken up with her for like 2 years. So like 2 years, almost 2.5 years went by, and then we tried to kind of do it again, like 2 years later, and I was just like, I'm not 18 anymore. No, like that's literally like, because we dated when I was 18, 19, and then when I was like 21, 22, we tried again, and I was just like, I'm not 18-year-old Ryan.
You guys grow.
We
right?
literally grew apart. Like, and that's what the biggest thing for me was. It had nothing to do with her. She didn't change. Like, it wasn't like I was like, oh my god, you used to be this. Like, no, it was literally me. I definitely changed, and like the things that I looked for, the things that were more important to me, or things that I thought were important back then that are no longer important now, or things that I didn't think were important back then that are now important now. Like, I got to the point where I was like, she's the same person I met back then, but I'm not the same guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, she's like, oh yeah, let's try this again. And I'm just like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I know, and I don't see you like how I saw you back then because I want different things now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's like, even though you're the same person and we have a history and yada yada, it's like I'm not there anymore. And it's not that you didn't catch up. I think we just
went different roads.
Literally went different roads. And I think that happens to me. I guess most times with exes is that like for you to become an ex-girlfriend, there's usually something like I think I'm a very patient guy, and I think for me to break up with somebody, it's something that I really can't get by, because I'm not a quitter. Like in anything I do, I don't just quit shit. So like if I actually stop, whether it's a 5-month relationship or 3 weeks, whatever it is, like if I have to stop, it's because I'm like, yo, like I'm trying to deal with this and I can't. Like I can't.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. I'll never break up before trying to get through it. Right. So if I know I've like exhausted my resources, and I'm like, yo, like Ryan, like this is gonna bother you. Period.
Yeah.
That's when I leave. So it's like, that's why for me, I'm like, if I get back with an ex-girlfriend, whatever that was, it's still gonna bother me because it bothered me to a point where I'm like, yo, you can't do this. So what's the point of talking to your ex-girlfriend again? She still has this thing that bothered you to the point where you couldn't take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's from your situation is more just like, you don't know enough. I only know you. I just kind of I don't. It's almost like the what you don't know kind of thing, right? And sometimes people need that.
Yeah.
Sometimes people need to go out there and be like, there really is nothing better out there. Like, real. Like, some people need to see, like, really reach that point where it's like, you know what? Put you aside for a little bit. Nothing against you. I still like you. Still care about you. I just want to see. I just want to know. And you go out there, you're like, there's nothing out here. Like, so, and the thing is, you're lucky because there's times where that might happen. You come back, you're like, you know what? And the girl's like, nah, like, nah. You're not gonna go out there, test the waters, and come back like, nah. But luckily, you guys had a good relationship, so that worked out. So that's good.
I'm like really trying to think like if I've been through these situations. I spoke about it on the last podcast. Like, I've obviously broken up with girls and then got back in a relationship with them. But a lot of the time, like if I'm gonna be real truthful, a lot of the times those relationships didn't work is for the reason you said. Because I can admit there was some shit that like I was still doing, like that I just didn't change because I might not genuinely think it's an issue, right? So that's a really good point. You have to, if that issue or whatever it is still there, it's always going to be a problem, right? But
Always.
It is what it is. I'm good now.
You're good now.
I'm flossing. All right. Next question. I'm gonna go back to the post that you had on. So mahogany_Simone. It's a statement: marry or date someone that loves you more than you do. True? Does this work? Why is it said?
So, date or marry someone that loves you more than you love them?
Yeah. It's a statement: marry or date someone that loves you more than you do. True? Would you date someone that loves you more than you do? I think this is a weird question because...
How do you measure love?
Yeah, well, there's that. But the other reason I think it's weird is because I have literally broken up with girls because I was like, you know what?
You're more into me than I am.
You love me
Yeah.
more than I love
Yeah.
you, right?
I don't want that feeling.
I've had that feeling before,
Yeah.
broke up with a girl, and then I realized, what the fuck am I doing? Like, it just makes, like, I didn't know my feelings at that time.
What are you doing with it? Oh, you regretted doing that after?
I regret it because I didn't even know how to process my own feelings at that time. But I still do think that way because, like, I thought I was sure. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't love this girl as much as she loves me, so I'm gonna cut it off, right? The only reason I regret it was, like, for a bunch of different reasons, but if it was any other time, I would have done the same thing over and over again because I just don't think you should be dating someone that, like, is like, let's say they're head over heels for me all the time. If I'm not that same way, might be a little bit of an issue. But I don't think you have to be that way every single day. Like, I feel like it's totally normal in a relationship to go some days where you're like, sometimes you piss me off. Like, sometimes you annoy me. And then the next day you're like, oh, I love this person. You know, like.
You know what I think the key is? I think the key to that question is there's nothing wrong with being with someone who may love you more, but I don't want to be aware of it. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Yes.
I don't think I want to. Like, you can love me more than I love you, but I don't want to be aware that you love me more than I love. Like, you know what I'm saying?
See,
I don't want to be like, I don't want to know and be like, look at you and be like, fuck, like, you really want this more than I do. Like, I don't want.
You know what the problem is though? I've noticed this with women, right? And I'd love to hear a female perspective on this, but there are days, right, where I've been in a relationship where sometimes I think in my head, shit, I want to be like if I'm single, right? Or I might be.
There's another question.
Or I might be a little bit out of love.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But I know that is. I'm probably gonna catch heat for this, but I know it's normal. Like I feel like it's normal to be dating someone and you have those days, but those days pass, right? And but I've noticed more with women where, or at least in my life or experiences, whether it's my boys or me personally, where when a girl feels that way, they're like, okay, this is a sign for the relationship, which means it's not gonna work, right? Or it changes how they think about the whole thing, which is why I said earlier, there are days literally where I'm like, yo, you piss me off, but I still love you, right? So I'm gonna keep it moving for the day and then we'll be good tomorrow. But I don't know if that's a guy thing or just a me thing, but
no, I agree with that.
I definitely feel that way sometimes.
Do you feel like your girl loves you more than you love her?
We love each other equally.
Shut the fuck up.
My God.
Yeah, that's a man. That's a man that's been trained. This is a man.
Pretty much.
You know what? Shout out his girlfriend. What's your girlfriend's name?
Tasia.
You've done well. He knows exactly the answer to that question.
Don't kill me.
We love each other equally, babe. It's equal.
50-50.
It's hilarious. Just a quick question I noticed about this topic was cool for thought. My boy Daniel, what up? He said, if you're currently in a relationship with someone and you sense that it's on the rocks, but you end up meeting someone that gives you a feeling you haven't felt before or haven't felt in a long time, do you break up with your current partner to pursue the other, or do you fight through adversity to try and make things work?
I saw this question. Okay, I got an answer.
This question's a mess.
Okay.
This question's a mess, Daniel.
Okay, let's adjust this.
Oh,
right?
man.
So wait, let's set a scenario here. How long are we dating the girl for?
Let's say this is a 3-year relationship.
Okay. So
3 years solid.
You've been dating a girl 3 years solid.
Okay.
You go to a coffee shop, right?
Always the coffee shop.
You go to a coffee shop.
I don't even drink coffee.
Yeah. You go to a coffee shop every week, right? Every other day.
Yeah.
Right? To go get your regular.
On your way to work.
And there's a cashier. She's mad cute. And you guys make small talk. And then small talk talks into, I get off in like 15 minutes. You want to just
share a coffee.
Yeah. And then you realize, oh shit, this girl's dope.
Dope. Like, she's dope.
Here's the thing, right? Because I'm not gonna front. I've been in a similar position, or I know plenty of stories, right? And it's like the neglect to say that you're in a relationship.
Yo,
Everyone does
Ooh,
this.
we've all been there.
It's not just men.
We've
I don't want to
been
hear
there.
women say I'm like trifling for this, but I know it's not just.
I mean,
men.
it's not even the fact that you. It's not even the fact you want to hide it. You just don't bring it up. You just
Yeah.
like it's not that you're. It's not you're not like you're not gonna be like I have a girlfriend.
Like, you know how that sounds? You know how that sounds? Like, yo, it's not that I didn't want to bring it up.
No, I know what you mean.
I just didn't bring it up.
I just didn't say anything.
But the
no.
thing is, we all know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the question. I feel like if you've been going, if we're going solid for 3 years,
3 years,
and did he say
It's on the rocks,
It's on the
he
rocks,
said,
right?
it's on the rocks.
It's on the rocks. I feel like I know you should. I feel like you should try to work through it, right? Because one, if you're
this is PR some more talking.
no, listen.
The right thing to do.
If you've been dating for 3 years, right? Like you've invested all this time and
a lot of
energy,
time, man.
and unless you're on the rocks for some absolutely fucking insane, crazy reason, you owe it to your girl to put in the work to try and fix it. And I don't know, like depending on who you are, you could. I don't think you should ever bring up that. Like, you know what? There's this
a girl at the coffee shop.
There's a girl at the coffee shop.
She's doper than you.
You shouldn't bring that up. You shouldn't bring that because that'll
Okay,
dead the
so
whole relationship.
here's the wrench though. Okay, do you still, as you should, put the time in to make it work, but do you still go to that coffee shop in the meantime? Do you simultaneously?
Honest to God, because
do you stop going to the coffee shop?
I've been in both situations. I've been on the receipt. I've been on that end. I've been on that end where I'm the dude going to the coffee shop, and I've been the other the relationship person where the girl's probably going to the coffee shop,
okay,
right?
yeah.
And I feel like if you're the person who can't decide what to do, I think you
already made a decision.
You already made a decision.
Yep.
And on top of that, you make it worse. You're making it worse by continuing going. I don't know how that's a coffee shop, but you're making it worse by going to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Because you're confusing your own feelings at that point. You're not letting yourself figure out, okay, what do I want? Because whatever is causing this relationship to be rocky, you're getting like a brief moment of
a little
happiness.
high. It's a little high.
You're getting a high when you go to the coffee shop.
Exactly.
So it's like
It's an escape.
Stop going to the coffee shop and address your problems, right?
Yes.
And if you can't address the problems, then fucking break up, right? But put in the work. Coffee shop girl she'll still be working there.
I'm not even gonna ask Irvin because he knows. I know his answer already. I'm never going back. I'm not going back to the coffee shop, babe. I'll never go back. I don't drink coffee anymore. That was a good question. That was I agree. I think it's messy because people. Okay, this is the thing. When things are on the rocks, people find any reason to either break up or avoid dealing with the situation.
Yes.
Because it's like we're all gonna deal with shit, man. Like, if you don't want to deal with shit, don't get in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because a relationship is not just fairy tale like greatness. Like, once you decide I'm gonna get in a relationship, just prepare for something. It might not be first month, it might not be first year, but just have your mind ready. Like, something's gonna happen. When it happens, be like, you know what?
Yeah.
This was gonna happen. Like, I was ready for this. This is okay. Here's the fight. Here's the fight I was planning in my head a year ago. It's coming. Like, it's here, right? So, when people just assume that like, oh, this person's the greatest, or like, we'll never fight, we'll never be this, and when something comes, they're like, why are you fighting? Blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
And then if a little spark over here goes, hey, look at this, I'm new. It's like people almost completely disregard everything they have with the relationship and be like, but this little one aspect, this girl at the coffee shop has one thing that is better than my girlfriend or my wife or whatever. Like, so it's like, I'm attracted to this. It's like, but you forget your girlfriend supports your stuff. Your girlfriend does this. Your girlfriend does that. She's there. Your family. Your boom, boom. Like, you don't think about any of that stuff. You just say, well, this girl's dope.
Yeah.
I like her. And you completely disregard all the other things in your relationship, and that it kind of it skews your judgment, because it's like, yo, this girl at the coffee shop is so dope. I should start talking to her. It's like, you don't know if that's her best aspect, and that's all she has.
Yeah.
But that's all that got you, because she got you in a weak moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I feel like guys and girls are different that way, where guys could just like take yourself out of the situation when they see something better, and girls are more like emotionally invested.
You know what?
Yeah.
I can. It obviously
depends on the guy.
Yeah, it depends on the guy. Depends on the girl. But in my experiences, I would agree. But I don't know, man. It's a super fucked up situation.
It is.
Because, like you said, it's very easy to get caught on that high and just be like, oh, this is amazing. Because, like you said, you could be on the rocks and no one wants to deal with like the stress or headaches of having to deal with shit. And the minute you meet someone that
Doesn't cause you stress.
in
that time. Just in that time.
It's a little time period. You're like, oh man, I really like this person. But it's like,
He probably don't give a shit about it, but it's just better than what you're dealing with. Yeah.
it's a mess.
Thank you for that question, Daniel.
Yeah.
Cool for thought. That was good.
That's a heat
He's
question.
actually a radio host.
Really?
Yeah, he does a show downtown.
Okay, another question. Just _ heavenly. Is age just a number? And then she says, if I got $1 for every time I heard this, I could go on a nice trip. So is age just a number?
I don't think so.
Go for it. Shoot.
I mean, like, I've like talked to people who are like older than
How old
me.
are you right now?
22. Yeah. I'm turning 23 in August, but yeah, I've talked to like 24, 25. Like, that's not a problem.
What about 30? 34? 35?
See, but I honest to God think it's like a weird thing in society. It's different for guys.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Like,
yeah.
if you're his age, if you're our age and you're dating a woman that's like, she could be a cougar, but she's like past 40.
You're just judged.
People are just like, what?
Yeah, it's so
they either
true.
look at her like, why are you prowling on this young man?
It's so true.
Or they look at you like you're weird, right?
There's a 35 talking to a 22-year-old. It's still weird, but guys, it's allowed. It's accepted.
What was the conversation that we had the other day, though? I was like, pretty much, I think the maturity thing.
Yes.
Is a big deal.
That's all I care about.
There was another question.
Well, not all I care about.
Yeah, definitely not. But there's another.
If you're 18, you know.
There was another question. I can't remember how it was phrased, but basically it was just saying that if someone was like 25, like someone could be my age, 25, but they might not be mature at all. But there might be someone who is like 20 who is, because they've been through more experiences in life. Right? So the fucked up thing is,
how do you gauge that?
Yeah. But also, you gauge that through like getting to know the person, but I might not even want to get to know you once I know your age.
Yeah, you already judge them. Yeah.
But the other thing too is, I'm gonna address this, like, with the way social media is set up now and like the way girls portray themselves. Sometimes I find it hard to tell like how old a girl is by what I see on social media, right?
Impossible.
So there are some girls that have either like hit me up or like I've just seen on social media and met in person and all this stuff. And actually, you know what? I've never like hit up a girl that I'm like interested in without finding out what her age is first, right? But there was a very recent person where like I found out what their age was. It's not even like I was trying to hit on this girl, but I found out how old she was. It's not like she was like younger than 20. She wasn't. But I was like,
your perspective changed.
My perspective changed. So I'm like, what? Like, you're only 21, but I thought you were like much older, right? But based on the way you acted,
it makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. And like the way that you were portraying yourself, right? So I don't think age is just a number, but it's definitely something to be cognizant of, right? Because as a dude in particular, we can get ourselves in a lot of shit. We can get ourselves in trouble.
But I like her.
Nah, not fat.
You know,
I haven't gone to a club in a minute, because I usually just go to bars now. But there are times where I go out to these places and I see these girls. I'm like, wondering how old they are.
Yo, dog, even Carabana last year, I'm not going back this year. Yeah. No, I'm not, dead ass. Like, I might be on the edge, maybe a little for an hour, maybe just.
Yeah.
But yo, I was in Carabana in the parade session last year, and like some people approached me like for my videos and stuff. Oh, like, okay, I got a picture. I'm like, how old are you? 16, 17? I'm like,
you don't look.
I'm like, I don't even want to be here. like I was just, but it's like they all like titties out, ass out. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't feel right here. And they all look like that, 18, 19. And their parents, do parents not care anymore? Like, yo, do parents not care?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know, but see, this is the thing. Like, does it make me a fucking weirdo.
Okay.
No, doesn't make me a weirdo
Yeah.
or like pedophile. If I see a girl,
And you're attracted, but she's young.
I'm not even
Yeah.
no. It's not even that I'm attracted. It's just you can look at
you're
someone,
watching.
you can see someone
Yeah.
and be like, oh, she's good looking,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I'm not attracted to
Okay,
her,
okay.
right? So.
But just even to look at it that way, and she's yeah.
It doesn't make me fuck
Yeah,
that I
it's-
look
it
at it
is
that
weird.
way. Because, it was Andrew Schultz on Brilliant Idiots.
Yeah.
He said this like last year, and I fucking thought it was so true. So when Ariana Grande was in like the news a lot, right? When she was like popular last year, and what's her name? Kylie Jenner, right? So,
Right.
so he was saying this. He was like, he's like, Ariana Grande does not look her age.
She's like a youth.
She's like my age or something like
She
that.
looks like a youth.
25, but she looks young. But Kylie is young,
Yeah.
but she does not look her age because of all
Yes.
the work she's had done, right? So he's like, does it make you, as a guy, fucked up if you're into Ariana Grande? Because she doesn't look her age. Like she's
You only
way of
like her
age.
because she's older
Yeah,
by your
yeah,
knowledge.
Yeah, she's,
Like-
she's of age,
Yeah.
but she looks like a kid. Does that make you a pedophile?
That's so fun.
But like, if I like Kylie because she looks older,
you
but
know
she's
she's
younger,
younger.
does that make me fucked up?
That's
You
messed
see how
up.
fucked up it is
Yeah.
out here for guys? Like, I'm trying
It's
to
like, so you like Ariana Grande? Why?
She looks young.
Because she's of age.
so we're in this we're in this
yeah,
weird spot.
that's
Like, I don't
weird.
really, man, like it's such a fucking.
she actually looks like a child.
She does.
So like I'm not attracted to her because I look at her. I'm like, you look like a kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if you're 40. You look like a kid. Yeah. So at the end of every show we like to give back to the community. Yeah, I'm talking shit. at the end of every show we like to let people ask us questions. We're always answering questions from you guys. We like to. You guys have your own questions for us. It could be anything. Last week we talked about how we started this podcast and how we both ended up single and just how it all started. So some questions are wild. Some questions we're very, to the most part, open books. So if you have any question you have or on the spot or any predetermined questions, feel free to ask either of us. We'll both answer them. Or if you have specific questions for each of us, you can go for it.
So I actually have one for you, Top Boy.
Okay.
Like,
Jeez.
where's the more?
On the spot.
So as a creative, why did you choose to go like PR?
Why'd I go PR?
Yeah.
So pretty much I went to McMaster, and then after I left Mac, I went to Humber. The only reason I went to Humber is because I was working at the Apple store and I just wasn't in school, and one of my friends that I was working with, she was just like, yo, you should think about getting into PR because you're good at talking to people and you make people comfortable, right? I knew nothing about PR, and I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll see how it is. And I researched everywhere. I looked into it, and I thought the PR industry, it sounded cool based on the things you get to do. Yeah. So I was like, let me look into it. And I applied at Humber. I got in, and then I ended up in the job that I'm at now. But I definitely feel like it's the right fit for me in the sense that I know that I don't, like, the goal is not to work for someone else. Yeah. Right? That's the goal. I don't want to work for someone else for the rest of my life. I'd love to start my own PR thing or something in that capacity, but I like connecting people to other people. Yeah. Right? That's the one aspect of PR that I love the most. Right? So there are many different things that go into it, but I like it when I'm out somewhere I've never been and I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, like I need someone that does this, or I know someone that does that, and it's like, yo, my boy Ryan can do this, right? And then like I connect them, and then like something else happens there, and it helps just because I've grown up in a lot of different places my entire life, so I have friends that are in many different circles, so it's like if someone was to take a snapshot of, let's say all my friends were just out there, right? Like on a map. Well, not on a map, like they're just in a field or some shit. And you took I'm thinking like a drone picture, right? Yeah. Like you could see a picture of all my friends. Like they wouldn't all look the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like different people. And it's because I'm into so many different things. And I feel like even though I'm into so many different things, I know that all these different people have a lot of things in common. And it's like you can connect all these people in some way and collab and do different things, right? Yeah. This podcast is helping too because there's so many other creators that I've met through it, and they're reaching out because we provide a platform that encourages that. Right? That's going back to what you said at the beginning of the podcast, like why you listen to it. I think, honest to God, that's one of my favorite reasons or things about it is the fact that we encourage people like reaching out or promoting others within the city, right?
Yeah.
And that's all ties into PR. So that's why I did it.
It's pretty cool. I actually have one for you, Ryan. So, does being known around the city, does that help or hinder your relationships?
Are you saying people don't know me? Wow, I'm joking. I ain't famous. I know that.
I'm
know
not
my
famous either.
Actually, I did get stopped the other day.
For the podcast.
Shanique, if you're watching this, holler at me later. I'm joking. Go on.
Does it help or hinder my relationships? It's done both. I'll talk about hindering first because that's the best part, right? It's hindered my relationships because there's been situations where I might be I'm in a relationship with somebody, and before I date that person, a lot of my followers are girls.
Yeah.
Girls are commenting, liking, whatever, heart eyes, whatever, right? When I get into a relationship...
Rod's got the sauce.
When I get into a relationship, I'm very open about that. I have no problem. Like, I'm not the person that's like, oh, secretly, like, if I'm dating someone, people know. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
So the same way I post my YouTube videos and my other stuff, I post my girl. Like, I don't hide that relationship side. Like, I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna post all my other shit I do, but you're not gonna. So when I'm in a relationship, I post my girl. Now, the issue with that is that the girls that I was either talking to before, or the girls that just follow me, or the girls that just like my stuff or whatever, they're still there, but they're not as brazen, like commenting like that anymore. Yeah. But they'll like the photos like passive aggressively, or they'll try and follow the girl, or they'll like just why are you following my girlfriend? Like you don't like her, like you don't want like. Yeah. But they'll do that, right? And then the girl's like, who is this girl? Who's this girl? Why is this girl following me? And it's like, and it just gets kind of like, I don't like to lie. It's in terms of like who a girl is. Like some guys are like, oh, it's just a friend. Just like, if it's a girl I slept with, I'm like, it's a girl I slept with a while ago, and I don't know why she's following you. And it just gets messy, as you can imagine. Like it's why is this girl you fuck trying to follow? I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know, but. Don't accept it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and then and then they'll comment on pictures of us, for example. Like, when I'm single now, but like if I'm posting myself with a girl, the girl that I've talked to, or girl that likes me, or who's been following me, or a fan or whatever, will comment on the picture of me and the girl, and I know it's not a genuine comment. Yeah. Like, just stuff like that, and it causes problems with me because I have to explain this, right? And to them,
it's the worst part where you're gonna take time out of your day
draining.
to explain.
It's very draining, and it's just, and that's not all the girls, because some girls don't care. It's just it's happened in some relationship where I'm like, this is this girl, like this what like, and then it gets to a point where like, even from my perspective, I feel weird because I'm like, fuck, I feel like I'm always like trying to tell you this one, okay, not this. This is this one. Yeah. This is my ex from here. This is a girl that I met here. This is a girl who saw my podcast. Like, it's a lot sometimes, right? So it makes them insecure. Like it does, because to them it's like, how do I know when do you not just get up and leave and go there? I'm like, listen, like if I want to be there, I'd be there. Like, but for me to explain that to someone is so draining. Like, like if I wanted her, I could have her, and it doesn't not to sound cocky. Like, I would be with her. I'm not, because I'm with you and I want to be with you. So for me to constantly have to explain why I don't want her, it's just, it gets so draining. And that's just from being, just having a social following, whatever, right? It's helped my relationships in the sense that the ones that don't worry about that stuff, they're all for it. Like, not the girls all over me, like, but they're all for the fact that like they understand that I'm doing something. They understand that this comes with Ryan. Like, he's a social person. He's gonna be out there. Girls are gonna like him. Like, as long as he's treating me well, that's his thing. Like, okay, if I see a girl comment on something, it's like, yeah, he's attractive. That's my man. Like, there's some girls that it's a perspective, right? So it's helped in that sense. Where like some girls might even like it. They're like, yeah, like sure, a lot of girls can want you, but you're not getting him. You know what I mean? So it's all relative, but it's done both. I've had some where it's just fight after fight after fight, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, and then there's some where I'm like, sometimes they don't even like my pictures. Like sometimes they just don't even like it. And I don't care. I'm not like looking for my girl to like it, but like sometimes they're just so like yeah, I'll like it later, like, you know. So yeah, it's been both sides.
At that point, like, how long till you had enough, like, of that?
On the negative side?
Yeah, on the negative side.
It's pretty quick. No, like, seriously, like, that's not something that goes away. Like, insecurity and just pestering and just constant, like, when it's one thing to have a fight or an argument or disagreement, but when it's the same over and over again, and you've addressed it. It's not like I haven't talked about it. It's not like you bring this fight up and I just ignore it and just leave the house. Like, we've been here. I've answered this. We've solved it.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, we're back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like at that point, if it's just like, listen, either you can't be with me, which is fine. Like, some people can't have that. Some people want someone who's more secluded and introverted, and that's fine. You can want that. But what comes with Ryan is I'm social, I create, a lot of people know me.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work with you, you're allowed to not want it. But I'm not gonna stay in this to deal with that if you can't adjust to that.
See, you're in like a weird, like, you're not, it's not, I don't want to say weird. You're in a situation where, quite frankly, I feel like I almost feel like a girl doesn't even have a right to be upset. I know that sounds like harsh, but it's like, I don't think I feel like if a girl is interested in you enough to the point where they want to date you, like, they have to accept before they even start dating you that, like, this is who Ryan is.
Right.
Like, this is what comes with it. So, and I know Ryan's going to have this conversation with me because you always do.
Of course.
So why am I getting mad? Like, unless you're doing something ridiculous, which you never do, it's like, why are you getting mad? That's how I would feel if I was in your position, where it's like, you can't get mad at me. You met me like this.
Yeah, like,
you knew this before you even met me, and I actually took the time to have this conversation with you.
Right.
And if you're doing everything you're supposed to do, then you really cannot get mad at me. Yeah. So
that reminded me of did you see that small clip with the Kardashian talking about Tristan?
Yeah.
You saw this little clip?
Yeah.
And she's like, I just wish he didn't play basketball.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip? No. There's a clip where, like,
it was the mom, right?
Yeah, the mom. There's a clip where what's her name? What's the mom's name? I don't even know.
Fucking
Mother Kardashian or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a clip where she was talking to KOA.
Yeah.
On the show, I guess, or something. And she's like, I just wish Tristan didn't play basketball. And it's like, that's his job.
Right? Yeah.
No, like, what do you mean by that? Like, KOA met him as a basketball player. Yeah. So, like, I just wish she never played basketball. So what? Like,
you remember what the funny bit about that whole clip was?
What?
She was
the spoon?
She was spinning a spoon in her cup like, get out.
It's hilarious, man.
It's
more of the story is if you meet somebody, guy or girl, if you meet a girl and she's in the modeling business, and let's say she's a lingerie model, whatever. If you meet her and you think she's dope and you fall for her, do not now try to tell her to stop modeling and stop lingerie, and you can't do that.
Yo,
you fell for her like that.
It doesn't even have to be that far.
That's an extreme example.
Even a common example that every guy should understand is if you're dating a girl or you're into a girl and you start dating her that you know is hot, right? That's very good looking. Yeah. You better be okay with the fact. You better be okay with the fact that she's gonna get hit on. She's gonna get catcalled. She's gonna get DM'd, right? Yeah. And you just have to be. The one thing for me is like, how does she address those? How does she handle those things, right? Because I know there's some situations where, like, for example, when girls get catcalled, when girls get catcalled, that's just wild. But it's like, if it's a problem for me if you entertain it, right? But I'm not gonna be that dude getting upset when It's like, why are all these mans DMing you? Like, what you do? Blah blah blah. It's
No.
like, because she's hot. Like, this is what dudes do.
Same reason you're here. She got you.
She got me and she picked me. That's why I'm here, right? So it's like, if you're getting upset because she's like mans are DMing her, and you like, that's an issue with you, right? And
that's a maturity thing.
Yes.
definitely.
Because when I was in high school, like, and I just got with my girl, it's like, why is this guy looking at
Yo,
you?
but,
Like,
but it's
some shit
funny,
like that.
right? Because you look back on when you were younger, and you're like, so sometimes you're like, yo, did I really think this way? Like,
Yeah.
Why was I so stupid, right? But then as I got older and I started dating like more girls, and like thankfully, like, I never really went down. So it's like I never went down in the hotness scale.
Yeah.
So it's like as I date these girls, I'm like, damn, like, yo, mans are really trying to get on my girl, but I never felt a type of way about it because I don't know what happened. I don't know if there's something that triggered it, but one day I was just like, it is what it is. Like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna come with the territory.
See, there's a saying out there. I don't know.
You know, Ryan gets real when he moves the glasses. When his head goes real low and he moves the glasses.
There's a saying out there. I don't know who said it. Anonymous, let's say, is that nobody wants to be with someone that nobody else wants. I have no idea who said it, but I'm sure we heard it. Like, nobody, realistically, whether you get mad or not, like, you really don't want to be with a guy or be with a girl that no one else is turning heads at ever.
Hold on. I agree. But I agree for men.
Yeah.
But I have heard women say that they would prefer to I've heard women say that they would date a guy that's uglier than them. I've heard that. I've actually heard this. It's because
They date a guy that's ugly.
that they don't think is like super attractive. That like
they don't want a super hot guy.
They don't want to date a super hot guy. They want to be in the relationship the hotter person. You ever looked at some couples and you're like, how'd that fugly dude get with that girl?
Yeah.
Like, so I've heard girls say this, and it's because they know that like either other girls are going to try holler at that man, or they know that that dude is like, yo, I got this hot girl. Look at me. Like, they know that they're not good looking, and they snag this girl.
They'll be more appreciative.
They're more appreciative and hold it down. This sounds crazy, but I've definitely heard this before.
Sounds viable.
I've only heard this from women. I've never heard a dude say like, I want an ugly girl.
For the dudes, then let's just talk about us.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us want to be with a girl that no one's turning heads at.
Oh, for sure.
I just don't think that's.
I
It
agree.
could be a pride thing. That could be whatever. I don't even care what this. I just think, truthfully, none of us would be like. I don't think we'd feel good if like you bring your girl around your man's and everyone's just like, oh cool.
Yeah.
That's your girl? Cool.
If they say cool, I'm just like, cool.
That's your girl? Cool. But yeah, like I think all of us kind of feel some sense of satisfaction, some sense of pride, and you want to feel good. You want to feel good about your girl. You want to feel like the person you got is wanted by the people, and you got her. Like I think there's a sense of gratification where it's like I was able to win this person.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so
I definitely agree.
yeah, I think. Yeah, I think.
Do you have another question?
I got one last.
Yeah,
one.
go ahead. Go for it.
So, what do you guys think about being in a relationship and allowing your girl to catch a bubble at like a party or or like she's like, yeah, you're good to do it, like, but I can do it too, right?
Someone asked this about.
Did they?
I think someone asked like. We didn't get asked this question. It was a question that someone else asked too on the page. But we never ever addressed it. It was something like dance with other people or some shit like that. But here's the thing: when you say bubble, like,
Yo, is she getting dog on, or are they just, is it just like a little wine, like, or is the man really like bent over, push her back down,
Yeah, like when I talked to this about this with my friends, I'm like I don't really care because it's levels, right? It's like if it's just a little wine, it's like okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But
if a man's trying to breed my girl,
exactly,
like, you're not gonna breed her.
Exactly.
My thing is, sorry, I'll answer quickly. My thing is, it's not happening if I'm there.
Oh, word. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Not happening. Not a liquor wine, nothing. If I'm physically there, you're either dancing by yourself or your friends or dancing on me. I don't care if that sounds controlling. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I'm there with you, if I came to the club with you, and realistically, the girls I've been with, they're going to want to be with me if I'm there. Like they're not going to be like, can I dance with this guy? Like the girls I talk to are not going to do that. But so if there are ever a girl I talk to, yeah, you can leave with him too. But
come back to me.
Yeah, that's your man. Go get your man.
That's your man over there.
But in terms of if I'm not there, I think this is something I've grown to kind of adjust to thinking, is that when I was younger, even if I wasn't there, like I would be like, oh, like what if she is dancing with someone when she's out with the girls? Like what if? And I'm like, you know what? If I can attend this event she's going to, or if I'm tired, or if I'm going to a different event, if she wants to dance, like most girls I've noticed, like they still won't, just they think it's out of respect or whatever. Even if they're with a girl, they still won't dance with their guys. But if for a chance they happened and I found out she danced with a guy, like okay, like I'll just imagine the most nice dancing like, I could possibly imagine. I won't ask her about it. I won't say how was it, what kind of song. Right? I'll just be like, if it got back to me or your girl was dancing with their guy at the club, I'll be like, all right, cool, yeah. Exactly. She came back to me, all right, whatever. If the man's, but I don't want to know how they're dancing. If they dance, cool.
That's the thing. You don't want to know. I want to log into World Star the next day and see a clip of you. That's what I don't want. Yeah. That's the absolute worst. But Brian said it perfectly for me. I just don't need to. I don't need to know. If you've already danced with a dude, like whatever. Don't let me find out. It sounds harsh.
Find out.
No. Sorry.
You can find out.
Don't let me. It's not. Yeah, you're right. Like
if someone's like, oh, if a girl's like, yo, Zamora, your girl was dancing yesterday.
No. Let me rephrase this. I don't care if I find out, but don't let me know the details. Like I don't need to know. I don't know the details. I don't need to know that your hands were on the ground.
Kind of disrespectful.
And I don't need to know. I don't need anyone to let me know.
However, I don't care if I'm there or not. No couch dancing.
Oh
yeah.
None. You are not dancing on the man on the couch. No. No.
Ryan saying this because he knows what comes with it.
What? We've all been the couch man. You know if that's a man's girl, you know he's crying. I've been on the couch getting some wicked wines, and I'm like, if you have a boyfriend, he would kill you. He would kill you.
Has that thought ever come over to your head?
Dog, last week, funny thing, Kathy listens to this. We're at MR.KOA. We're at MR.KOA. There's this girl dancing on the couch. She was dancing on the couch, man. Yeah. So the man's on the couch, whatever.
She's catching
a mean bubble. She's not really a good bubble. But she's just on him, right? Then she starts making out with him. We're like, whoa. Like I didn't know her. I know the guy. Just saw them making out, and he's just
his friend or just
no, it's a friend of a friend of hers, yeah. And they're just dancing, whatever. And then he starts kissing, making out with her. We're all like, whoa, like that escalated quickly. Then we're out later on after the club's done. Girls on their phone. She's like, why are you getting so mad for? Blah, blah. Like, I wasn't even dancing. And I looked at her, I'm like,
jeez.
What? Yo, I swear to God. She's on the phone. She's like, I barely even danced. Like, I'm like, whoa. Like, I was on the ground before. Like, yo, she's lying. Yo, she's like, yo, she was so
brazen.
Like, dog. Like, it was literally like I watched you make out with the man on the couch. We all saw. Yeah. And she's on the phone with whoever the guy she's talking. She's like, what are you acting up for? Like, I barely even danced. Like, I was just up there for a little bit. I wasn't even dancing. And I'm like, I'm watching her on the phone. I'm like, I was at that moment. I'm like, okay, this is what it's like, huh? Like, that man is lost in the sauce. That means she's done worse things. For sure. God. For sure. If she's lying about making out with a man on the couch, she's done worse.
Definitely.
She's done worse. For sure. The way she said it, she's like, I barely even danced. Like, barely. I literally flashed back to her on the couch, riding him. Like, I literally saw, I'm like, all I saw was, I barely even danced. I just saw, all I saw was, I'm just like, wow.
If
like,
I was there, like, just based out of knee-jerk reaction, I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Did you say something? I don't know her. I
don't know, but
I say something, actually?
I feel like I would have just, like, not even tried, like, getting involved.
Yeah.
But I would have been like, what? Like, and then I would have kept it moving. Because I would be like, nah, I can't be here.
I just looked at her. I was like, oh my god! I'm like, I've never seen someone lie like this.
If I knew the dude too, if I knew him remotely, I would never be able to look at him the same. Like if it wasn't like a close boy, right? Like I like kind of knew him.
Just know,
I don't feel like I'd be in the right position to say something, but I would never be able to look at him the same way. Because
would you want to know? If you're on the other side of the phone, would you want to know?
I think if that dude was calling, right, and he's giving her a hard time, it's because he already knows that his girl's up to some
She's reckless, right?
Yeah, he already knows.
He already knows,
because I don't know the full situation.
Yeah.
He could be one of those dudes that's alwa's giving her shit.
Yeah.
But like, let's just say he knows.
I feel like he has a sense.
He has a sense that
it's like it's 12 a.m. She's probably doing some fuck shit.
Where
Where you at, yo? I'm just walking.
So if man's approached me and he's just like, yo, man to man, like, my girl was out, she always up to some shit, was she doing something? I'd be like, yo, she was riding the dude.
Like, you riding him, bro.
Riding him. Like, I gotta be upfront with you, right? It all depends how he approaches me with it, but
that hurts.
I feel no ways. It's not my girl. So it is what it is.
I barely even danced.
Barely. I'm just all angry.
I looked at it, I was like, you know the fist? Like, you're such a liar. Oh my god. That's we're good. What's our time like? 1:20 something. Yeah.
Good one.
This is a good one, man. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for participating every week. We're gonna keep these going, of course. Have you told any friends about this?
Oh yeah, all of my friends.
Of course, of course you have. Why wouldn't you? It's the best guest so far right now. One more time, just give us your socials. How do people find you? What can you do? And what can people ask you for if they need something right now? If you have no idea what someone's looking for right now. Until you say something out loud, you have no idea what people are looking for. So this is your chance. What can people find you for? How can they find you if they need something after listening to this podcast? How can they get it?
So you can find me at Instagram at I_Barcenas, BARCENAS, and my Twitter is at MK905. And if you need like graphics or flyers or any promotion or anything like that, you could just hit me up in my DM and we could talk from there.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Oh, and also me and my boy, shout out my boy Ashton. We're starting to work on a podcast ourselves, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like we're just like conceptualizing and like trying to see what we can do, but look out for that too.
If you need help with the startup or any tips or whatever, you know how to find us. It's no issue at all.
Yes, sir.
It's another week. Thank you guys for stopping by. Another episode of We Need to Talk. These are getting great. I feel like I'm totally into my skin now. What about you? Like I feel like I'm just chilling now. Like I honestly, sometimes I forget the camera's on.
It's part of who I am. Let's put it that way.
It is in my blood.
Yeah.
The cameras is just a show, just for show. I'm told this is me. When you guys meet me in person, you guys know I don't change on camera. It's just this is it.
Who we are.
This is our spot for us to kick it every week, for us to vent, for us to talk, for us to relate with you guys, engage, and you guys are really turning up our We Need a Podcast, WNTT podcast Instagram now. You guys are asking some crazy questions. Keep those coming every week. It's Friday night. Another week. Enjoy your weekend. I'm your host, Mr. KOA, alongside
Top Boy.
It's We Need to Talk podcast.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.